Hi, I'm Chris. I'm Vangelus on the internet. I'm hosting a live stream today, and it's about very important topics. But before we talk about things that matter and the stakes of the universe, let's go one step higher and talk about names in the text chat box. So I'd like to say hello to Cliff and Eve Tronia and Adam Bilmu and Robot Lorekeeper and Mischievous Turtle and Cursed Key and Griff and Verspringen and Long was here, Timu Kananen, GD Slalom, Erna Roth, Adam Roquemore, Walder, Rock Nerd Radio, Ton Bot, Trans Drummer, what's up? Hi. I caught up already. I'm so good at this. Oh, Long was here. Don't you worry. Chris Muse, what's up? Hello. But yeah, I am always ready now with the plug to say if you are buying Toy Hacks already anyway, why not save 15%? And why don't you use the code DemiVangelus, Happy Pride, and save 15% as well. Many thanks as always to Toy Hacks for just like always going with the codes I send to them as can we use this for this month. That said, everyone thinks I'm talking about demigods too, which is really because I am kind of. I like to think I'm demi many things. But there is the code. It's on all the socials too, so you can find it. Yeah, also the Amazon France, the king of all leakers, the nexus from which all Transformers toy leaks come from. Amazon France, the top of the chain, bigger than all the rest, dropping the Age of the Prime Wave 3 product pictures many hours before the actual live stream, because, you know, Amazon France, Viva something something, the French. I see a Lie Diaclona in the stream chat. I've seen your YouTube channel before. I'm never up urinating down a leg. I'm always down urinating up a leg. I got a lot of pressure. Anyway, yeah, the Wave 3 stuff looks neat. I think Micronus is hella cool. I think Alpha Trion, as of having a book with pages, became hella cool. I like that they got Venom in there, my favorite Decepticon Insecticon. I got the other three, so I'm already all set. I just gotta get a big handful of Venom. I forgot who else was in there. I was about to call him Rapture. That's not his name. The Decepticon medic. His name is not Rapture. It has completely replaced whatever his name is in my brain, though. Nope, it's not Fixture. That's probably where Rapture came from. Anyway, he looks cool too. No disrespect by completely forgetting what his entire identity is. Flatline sounds exactly like Rapture. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, my Cronus, at first glance immediately, and then like bolstered by the box art, I was like, that toy's doing a billion things, so I'm interested. The weaponizer part, apparently, I didn't watch the stream yet. The weaponizer part is like, okay, sure, but everything else going on is pretty goofy and neat. The 13 primes so far are all doing it for me, visually and conceptually. They got cool things going on. YouTube turned your Epic Geats reference last night's twit into a seizure trigger. No, I hadn't seen twit yet. I was like, what was I doing? I was cooking asparagus. Yeah, that's right. But no, why did they do that? That's not cool. They've always de-seizurized my stuff whenever I use, like, TV static. It's messed up. Rapture is in the Actually, no, never mind. I had a fan character once I was going to repaint out of a blank Shapeways Fake Busker eject. It was going to be like, what was it? If eject, the concept of a lost eject was a narcotic, it would be a character called Bliss, because it's a good word, and Captain Planet made decent use of it, but I'm taking it back. Anyway. That's the main stuff I was thinking of. But no, the reveals look cool. I continue to simply assume all toys will be available to me since there's only 3 waves, so I don't have to pre-order anything. I can just wander around and look for it. But I also haven't seen the GameStop Canada, soon-to-be Electronics Boutique, pre-orders even go up yet, so whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to desktop just to get us underway, because I got some things to explain before we get to the new stuff that showed up today in the Magic Box. Oh, they're up. What's sold out already? Probably all the ones I want. Yeah, GameStop Canada was purchased, so it will be turning back into Electronics Boutique, and now has nothing to do with whoever the scumbag is that owns GameStop in America. And it wasn't bought by the Sunrise Records guy either. It's the first thing I looked up. Because if it was, I was like, well, it's all over. But it wasn't. So, hope lives. Anyway, I gotta talk to you about Waruders. Let me move this out of the way. So I wanted to give the rundown on what my Waruder history is so far. I just knocked some stuff over. I kind of just manually set the focus with a number and figured I'd fix it later. I think it's set for close-ups right now. It is. Okay, that's good enough. But yeah, welcome to Walter Walder's Waruder Pwaruaytime. Where we're gonna... You might not know this, but I'm also a children's television host named Walder. Anyway, flashbang. Yeah, what happened? I set the exposure on this. You all know how fun it is with webcams and attempting to use manual controls. Yeah, I set it to -6, not -5. You stupid machine. Anyway. Yeah, Walter Worm. So, what's a Waruder? They're the bad guys in Diaclone. So, where they began in Diaclone Reboot is with the humble worm pod. So, what's a worm pod got in it? It's got a Waruderoid in it. This is, as far as I understand it, a little squiggly, like, brain squid thing in the chest of this robot body is an actual Waruder organism. But this is called a Waruderoid, because they're, piloting a little bipedal body. The pink ones have blades for hands, for like, close combat with humans. But then you put your Waruderoid into its worm pod, and you got a worm pod. And then you take your Waruder suit, you shove your worm pod into the suit. There we go. And now you got a Waruder suit, and it's in grappler form. It's got like 3 other official forms you can go to. Yeah, they got a little bit of Utrom. They're just mean. Like, they just want to drain planets. There's not much that's too deep. But everything about their aesthetics, as I understand it canonically, is all of their mecha, all of their weaponry is shaped the way it's shaped specifically to make humans scared, because they tried to pick, like, there's a lot of insect in it, right? Because they're like, well, humans are scared of insects, so we'll just make all of our robots look like insects, so they'll be more scared of us. But a Waruder suit can go from grappler form to hammerhead form. This is how they float around a whole lot. And then you got, like, what was the other one? Shrieker form, where the feet become a mouth and the hands become legs. Option 0 has been summoned. Welcome to Walder's Pwaruaytime. Yeah, the kitty ears, the Waruders got their own tastes as well. But so here's a Shrieker, and then when they want to like float around and catch stuff, they go to Hunter form. And I got some things here just for size reference. So when it goes to Hunter form, it like flies around like this and has these little grabby pincer things, which are just the right size to grab a hold of little literal humans and snatch them off their motorcycles and fly really high and then drop them. That's what I assume they like to do to them. And then, there's blue ones and red ones, and this is how Walruders started in Diaclone Reboot, with the blue one and the red one, the Flinger, and the other one, the Stinger. However, there's all this cool stuff these can do as well, and when these came out, when these were new, I ordered 2 of each color of these, and boy was that fortuitous! As Option 0 just mentioned, this era of Waruder is now very pricey. So I'm not going to go into all the combos these things can do, but you might notice some themes here, like the pod going into a hole, right? And they got these little, pegs and holes everywhere that all happen to be the exact same size. So Waruders can, interlink side by side, for instance. What they can also do, and this is, this is where you may start to see, the cleverness of this play pattern start to emerge, is you can take a pair of Waruders and you can pelvis them together, because the way that their legs tab together for, their own personal modes means you can tab and peg 2 Walruders together to inflate their hunter arms to be thicker, or be four-fingered pincher things. And this all just lines up, right? And then the other interesting thing is that this socket here, or this socket that the worm pod goes into, happens to be the exact same dimensions as the cylinder their arms come out of, so you can also attach them like that. And now you've got this guy waving around this big kooky murder arm with its own pilot. Now the pilot can see. Now the murder arm's got its own pincers and everything. So this was the start of what the Waruder play pattern is, which is more everyone tends to call Diaclone it's Lego mecha, right? And it kind of is, but you have to buy a lot of it to really start to see the Lego mecha thing happen, because when you have just a couple Diaclone hero pieces, I feel you are mostly just plugging guns in and out, and if they have the rail system, you're swapping arms. It takes a bit to really start going kooky with it, swapping bullet cores, everything, and seeing different crafts start to materialize. The Walruders are, as we have sort of settled on over the course of several streams, they're more like Mecha Glyos, where they are a build pattern, but they're built mostly around cylinders and 3mm pegs. And it's very fascinating as they grow, because there is a version of the Waruder suits that went on the market again. It is now, Option 0 mentioned, it's now knocked off. Apparently I've heard it's a decent knockoff, the ones that are currently on AliExpress. And they're in 4 different colorways. And what happens is, they released after these something called the Walder Raiders, and I happened to one of my last pre-orders before the pandemic was or not pre-order, I bought it off of Mandarake shortly after it came out, was a Walder Raider Raptor head, which is the red one. And you could use parts of that to form something they then sold on its own, which is the Waruder Suit Evil Eyes Grappler. So when the Waruder suits combine with more parts, their funny word for it is Evo Lies, because it's they're evolving and they're rising and they're evil, so they're evolizing. It's, I think, a very fun word. But there is a set that is still floating around. It's now become kind of expensive too. I think it hasn't marked up as these ones. sometimes you can catch a Waruder suit for like 4 to 5,000 yen, whereas a grappler setup is somewhere between 8 to 11,000 yen, depending. And what you'd get 4 little pieces with it. Like, as far as I know, these 4 pieces also come with the standalone grappler colorway they did, which had like gold claws and like a different worm pod, but it was in red, etc. So you'd get these 4 bits, which we'll talk about later. But you'd also get this, and I really like this. This is the Evo Lies grappler. It's got like full-on legs. You can see the one of the clever things they did is the way that it gains legs is that the worm-looking thing here becomes a little tail, and then the legs slip on there. And now you've got this thing that walks around. It's like, oh, I'm going to grab you with my little individually ball-jointed fingies. My guns are going to point around. I got funny missile stacks. So this is what a grappler looks like. Hello, Brian. For 4 meant to terrify humans, it looks a little scrimblow. I mean, maybe. Evil Fusion, that's right. Hey, Evo Fusion is back. One of those toys, I think it was Venin, has an Evo Fusion-ass picture on the back of his box where it's like, look, I stuck my axe head to my gun, so it's an axe. And I was like, Evo Fusion, hooray. What if instead of Evo Lies, we call it Realize? Well, you know, hey, hang on, this gets bigger, right? There's time for reality and for dreams to soar. So I'm just going to strip off all the Waruder Raider parts off of this. And I'm going to show you what the Raptor head set looked like. How are we doing here? I'm cruising. I just wanted to give a little tour before I opened up the booty that I got. So now, oh look, it's a Hammerhead Waruder suit. Let's fly over here. So, this thing. The Raptor head comes with 2 of these. These are bigger worm pods. And they have Waruder Roid Commanders in them, which is just another colorway, basically. But they actually get to sit in these. And these big old things, not only can they stick into, you know, one of these Waruder suits, should you care, but you can build, what they do is they give you basically, the Waruder Raider set was a big pile of parts, right? I'm going to move the focus back for this next bit. That's me! There we go. Oh, wait, that didn't do it. That's the wrong direction. I hate doing this through menus. This is so annoying. There we go. So they gave you a big pile of parts, but they... What the hell happened to my exposure? I didn't even change it. I'll fix this. Yeah, there we go. So you could build 2 things out of the box if you did happen to buy it on its own. I've modified those builds a bit by, like, you know, adding the 3rd little ring of little, like, crab legs to this thing. But the reason why it's called the Raptor head, primarily, is you would take this thingy, and then, if I remember correctly, I'm kind of winging it here, so, you know, you gotta bear with me. Oh, by the way, the things you get with the knockoffs as well are these, which are like, you'll see a lot of these discs, and then occasionally you get 2 where you can, like, fold out the inner pegs, should you want to, for whatever build ideas you may have. Because that is way more, I think, the theme of the Waruders, is you build stuff. You all saw Shadow Vangelus. Can you give the Waruder Scorpio Man the dino legs? Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's what I'm aiming to do it with the other one right now, because I'm sticking to the canon builds. The only issue with this play pattern is, like, it's very free flow, and that goes down to some of the hand feel as well. Like, sometimes it might feel like, why is this not moving? And then it will just suddenly start moving. So I think I've got this the way I remember it working. Because I believe these then went on the outsides. I don't have the instructions near me, so these are not going to be fully official. Yeah, that's not quite right, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Where's the other one? Here it is. Oh, there we go. I can get the center peg in. We can do this. Oh. Because this way I can get the arms back on. Get these funny thingamies on here. So you kind of see how it's sort of like a little raptor-ish thing, right? Like the basic idea, we're buying the basic idea here. Because the other Waruder Raider set was the Bughead set, which I did not get when it came out. And because I think of the Grappler release and the subsequent knockoff of the Grappler release, the Raptor Head set is not the most expensive thing in the world all the time. It's still kind of pricey. The Bughead set, regularly, at a minimum, is 11,000 yen now. Which sucks. Can you Mugen bind these guys up? Yes, you can. I've done that for fun a few times. The little worm crawler thingy has a much easier setup, by the way, which is just you stick these things on, and you attach the little optional, the little included red weaponlets all over it, so he's got like little side drills back here, little sword guns over here. Remember sword guns? That's Beast Wars Megatron's favorite attack. And then, like, you got these domey things that you can stick onto. For instance, if you want to cover the clear red here, you can give them slightly bigger hips. But without doing a great job of it, this is sort of the gist. This is the gist of what you could do here. I feel like maybe this had one more link in the cylinder chain. I'm gonna stick one more of these in here. See if that does something. So those are domes. That feels a little bit nicer. Anyway, Waruders! Look at them, they're so cute. They're all wandering around and whatnot. And at the time these came out, this was like the small Diaclone thing, the original powered suit. And they were already kind of getting towered over by little Waruder suits, and you bring in, like, the Raptor, and it's like, uh-oh, how are we gonna face this evil? Yeah, make him thick. By the way, it is humid and warm, and I am perpetually just leaking out of my temples. So pardon me if I'm dabbing the old sticky salty off of my face here and there. Oh, you remember sword guns from Final Fantasy? I almost said new Mortal Kombat game. Not yet. New Magic the Gathering set that I hear is very expensive. So, what did I get in the mail today? It's 36C. I can't. No, 36C. That's unethical. You should be sending an angry letter to the devs for that. It's not supposed to be 36 Celsius. So, what's the Bughead? Well, I was in the mail today. I finally got the Bughead. Also, I do have a Waruder Roars, but I'm saving that for a little bit later because I want to flow right into the other Raider set because I haven't checked this out yet. I opened it just to make sure all the bits were in here when I filmed the box, but I got instructions. And yeah, this is also these are Mandarake opened used, and they got that Mandarake opened used musk, not human musk, thank goodness. But like that very back of a library musk. You know, like that very like, oh, those are old books, and if I breathe too much, the ink will enter my lungs kind of stuff. But yeah, here's a parts manifest. Did you pay at least 11,000 yen? What a funny question. I want to find the dark so the dark cathode colorway. So all of these are what's called anode colorway, which is red and blue clear parts with this sort of off beige tan. Dark cathode is green and purple clear parts with a dark bluish finish. And there's actually, if I recall correctly, there's lore that backs up why you should just have lots of everything. Because if you put an anode and a cathode together, their power magnifies because the yin and the yang interact. So there is a dark cathode version of Waruder Raptor head and a suit. The lowest I've seen it go for is 25,000 yen. So don't pay that unless that's nothing to you. Because that is a small tray of parts. I know there's the joke, right? Well, we're talking Diaclone, haha, what do we mean? Don't pay that. But, like, that is the Diaclone aftermarket entering the realm of, like, you gotta really... you're getting into the funny end now. Another one that's usually around 24,000 yen is the Armament Weaponry 4-powered convoy, which is a little 3-inch long block with some pieces stuck onto it. They didn't make many because apparently not many people ordered them. It regularly goes for around 24,000 yen. It is maybe about the size of this, maybe. So don't. I had an alert set up on Mandarake even, and one came in stock, and I was like, oh, goody! And then I looked at the price, and I was like, wow! That's more than the entire package I'm ordering! Wow! 24,000 yen, huh? Because originally I was like trying to psych myself up for it to be expensive because I wanted the L block, right? And then as we went over in a previous stream, I discovered the L block, they already give you one with powered grader. So I was like, oh, alright. I'm toned way down now, because now all I'm really missing are like 3 pairs of interesting rail-compatible pieces that I sure would like to have. So what I arrived at is that the that add-on set, I think Option Zero said it was DA88, the armament set. That's the next thing the Pop 01 people should knock off, because it's just a handful of parts in an L rail, and they were able to do the rail parts decently enough on Pop 01 Original Optimus Prime, because having messed with powered grader, that thing is even more finessed, and I suspect it may be a catastrophe trying to knock it off, but I'm happy to be wrong too. I think that Original Optimus Prime people would be better off first making like verse frames and the armament set, because that also the armament set just works with anything Triverse. Anything from that era. If you can get it to work right, you're set. Like I still want to get a second Original Optimus Prime just to have more of it to mess with somewhere down the road. This is the Waruderoid Commander that comes with the bug head, by the way. You can see the melee arms here, the little mantis spikes. Yeah, no, the verse frames, someone should be doing 6 colorways of verse frames and retiring on it. I don't understand what happened there. Because also Takara Tomy should be doing that. And and I don't know what happened there. The only reason why I really get on Takara Tomy's case is because they have all those X-Core and armament add-ons for the Versalters, and I'm like, so you're like making more of the parts that need the frames. And then they put out the Cosmo Marine like modular colorway, but it's just the modular of the Hawk Versalter parts, and I'm like, did I miss something? And I'm gonna do my usual, we've done it like what, once or twice. My Diaclone streamy thing where I'm going to just try to go through the manual once. Oh, this is called the Bug Pod. It says so right there in the name. Have I talked about Liger Diaclone? Oh, you mean Liger D Prime? Famous relative of Monkey D. Luffy? Yeah, I can't remember if I talked about it much, but like, I think it looks, I talked about it on Blue Sky a bunch. I think it looks neat, but it does give me, by the way, this thing has real bugly facial things going on, which I like. It gives me sort of the impression of a Zoids Transformers crossover, with like Diaclone cement to fill in parts where it maybe was struggling a bit or they weren't quite sure what to do. No, Zoid Prime is not actually $400. That's just what all the US retailers are charging, which someone figured out matches percentile-wise with the 140% tariff that was around at one point. But no, it's like around $200 US out of Japan. The main reason it is so expensive, I believe, is because they are putting like a Zoids motor for the mouth and the lights in the chest, which is neat, and I think that's a cool way to have Zoids in it beyond just having parts of what I have been assured is the most boring Liger. But I think it looks fun. I'm probably not gonna order it myself. My favorite parts of it are, I like the garage for the bike, and I think that the little hover piled or bullet core is really cute. But I feel like I just don't have it in me to purchase an entire figure entirely on the basis of two parts being cute. As a non-Zoids person, I felt very relieved to hear that Zoids people were saying the Shield Liger is really boring, because I was like, where are all the cool Liger shapes that I usually see? And then people told me it's because it's the Shield Liger, and I was like, oh, okay, well, at least there's a reason. There are connectors on the back. Of this or of the Shield Prime? Oh, there's connectors that might fit the tactical mover backpacks. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, if that thing can put on, either tactical mover backpacks or, like, are those the same orientation as the Versalter backpacks as well? Because if you can use those, I think that'd be really fun if you have a bunch of that stuff already. And I'm not, like, saying, I'm never gonna, like, I have a sort of the thing that I do, which is I never just declare what I'm gonna buy full stop, like, live on stream. Because, like, I don't know, I'll change my mind, who knows. But, like, I'm not gonna pre-order it. If anything, I'm likely gonna try to catch it. Which of the drill things am I looking for here? I'm gonna try to catch it, somewhere down the road. Is that just one of those? Oh, there's a part list! That's kanji, but that kanji looks the same. So yeah, I'm guessing it's one of those. I would like to know if they do a Diaclone collab that is not, like, part of the three-way one. Because I'd like to see a two-way collab. There we go. Look, it's the Bug Pod! I just love that this thing has, like, incisors. As opposed to, you know, the raptor head just being sort of, like, shaped like a head. This thing... Also, compound eyes. Oh, yeah, Diaclone did do a collab with Gridman. Sorry, I meant, like, the, you know, the Synergenex side of things. The current era. Alright, let's make the bug head. Oh, Shield Liger's the original main Zoids kit. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm not a Zoids person. All I know is the War Dick, and I bought a War Dick back when they first put Zoids out in North America because I thought it was funny because its name was War Dick. And that's kind of my entire interaction with Zoids. As a kid, I bought a lot of Zed Knights, which was the other line that got brought over to North America when I was actually a child. I can't remember if War Dick was when I was a child or like a teenager or later. Oh, I need a Module C. Alright. Yeah, Combat Richard. But I had, I think, 3 or 4 Zed Knights. I forgot what their like, Tomy name was. Not Takara Tomy. Those were just Tomy. Tomy only. Lots of new parts in this, by the way, that I'm really excited about. Like these ringed things with the hinged limbs and whatnot. The Fighting Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, War Dick was like... It looked like a penis. Like, that was why I thought it was so funny back then. But it, like, waddles. And I did think it was really cool, how much, a Zoids did on a wind-up motor. Like, that did impress me way back. This also comes, by the way, with one of these things with the movable bits. Wait a second. Why are they telling me to... I'm following the instructions all the way down to which orientation the pegs are going in their cat art, because I'm one of those. Ah, kanji, 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 kanji. So it was just called Zed Night. Okay. Yeah, it's 4 kanjis, the letter Z, and then Naito. So it was just called Zed Night in Tomy land. Okay. Conflict weenie. Are you going in on Superion? Probably eventually, but I don't have any of them right now. But it does, like, you know, I do think that that's a neat looking figure they're putting together. Armored, oh, so that's like what? Something Kyojin Zed Knight? Battle penis! Oh, wait, did I put the wrong one on? Or are those the same? I was supposed to put on the one... Hang on, I'm supposed to put on the one with balls. Oh, there's more over... Okay, there's more of them over here. I'm flummoxed. There's so much stuff. I have a much bigger appreciation for these, like, Diaclone parts bins now. Like, now that I've like, I guess, had a pandemic to meditate upon them. It's like I will allude to in my Diabattles V2 review, when I first got those things, I was one of those Transformers folks who was just, like, basically transforming it between combined mode robot and combined, like, scramble mode. And going, like, I guess this is neat, and then never thinking about it again. Hello, Amander! Melee Wang! Alright, now I want the Pegally one. Oh, also, the motivation for this stream, to get a little bit metafictional with y'all. Oh yeah, I want the one I was using before. The motivation is basically, aside from I want to just play with my new toys and why not do it on a stream, is, and this is the motivation for all of the Diaclone coverage I have brewing in my head right now, is why not showcase some of it so that folks can at least, like, see how a bunch of it works, and play into one of my personal goals, which is thinking about how to enjoy figures from afar, or experientially while just, like, watching someone mess with them. So why not add some of that to the world myself? Oh, this is tight, by the way. Because I feel with Diaclone Reboot, I do need to really stress. At no point am I going like, hey, you all should buy these. Because, like, it's difficult. But for, like, you know, the stuff that's a bit more accessible, like Pop 01, or for things that came out this calendar year, this past 12 months, you know, then you also, like, get to actually, like, see how they work. But what's up, Trent Salamander? We are in Walter Walder's Waruder world. I'm just putting together, I got some Waruders in the mail, so I'm putting together this bug head set of parts that I paid more than it retailed for. Oh, I saw, yeah, Option Zero. I know I saw a couple pictures of people who were putting, like, I think some of the Waruder Legion shoulder parts onto, like, some of the bullet core, like, cockpits, because they were dome-ish, and I was like, this does seem messed up. This seems unethical. I don't know if this is allowed, under the, whatever, the Edict of Heaven. Yeah, well, because Zoids came up, so I was like, yeah, my main Zoids experience was, like, when it came out in North America, I bought a war dick, because I thought it was funny, because it looked like a penis. And, like, you know, that's all it takes for me, I guess, but, wait a second. I put the wrong disc on. Or no, I put it on the wrong way around. How could I be so foolish? It's not even the best fish swim, but it's the only one that's called War Dick. Like, did they ever make a Zoids chicken called, like, you know, a salt cock or something? Because, like, I'd be interested. That's pretty... yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh! I am such a good example to follow. Woo! I get to use the wingly bits now. Alright, this is all super duper new to me. So is it this part? There is a piece in here I know about that I'm really hyped to look at for the other build in the contain builds. Yeah, Turtle, you get me. Oh, man, that sucks. I'm sorry I had to go through that. It's about to say, also not under the Edict of Heaven, but then again, I am writing my own Edict of Heaven, so... at a certain point, I guess perhaps my authority on the subject is debatable. Also, I got the peg on the wrong side! Alright, so check this, this is so freaking cool. I've been waiting, like, 5 years to do that. Oh, that's neat. And then we get the little mandibles open. Ah, the bug head! Finally. Finally, I got bug head in my life. Alright, so the other little thing you can make out of this is called Berserk. Not the manga. And the thing that this uses is fascinating, and I think it's tragic that not only was this confined to this set, I believe, but this has never been knocked off, and maybe that's why this set is so expensive, is this beautiful little thing. So this is a cylinder connector, like a Pegly cylinder connector, but it's a three-wayer, so this allows you to go into a third dimension. Well, actually just a third angle, but you're not confined to, you know, perpendicular angles as much now if you have one of these little bits. However, where is the thing? So this one, the other set, the Raptor head set, comes with 2 worm pods, 2 cockpits. Well, 2, I guess, like, you know, big worm pods, Raptor pods, and 2 cockpits. This one only has the 1 cockpit, the 1 Waruder, and then it comes with the Berserk, which is this little freak. Yeah, okay, it's sideways. And so instead of a cockpit, this thing, I'm assuming, is like a sort of, like, autonomous drone thing. The Scorpion Zoid Guy Sack. That's alright. That's alright. Alright, so that's step 1. And, okay, I gotta start putting more of these discs together. Okay, it's a disc and a dome apiece. Scorpion's like, get over here! See, Scorpion's also a character from Mortal Kombat. That's why what I said is really funny. There you go. So now we gotta stick things onto this. So let's get the rings slipped in. Oh yeah, these things. I saw recently, from many years ago, like I think from 3 years ago, some YouTube video that Molong had, Emmy Molong, and it showed me another thing these foot parts can do that I think is really exciting, and I wish I had more of them. But are you also seeing the vision? Are you seeing the vision coming together here? Oh, take it easy, Fuzzy Bunnyman. Mistake Boy, what's up? The character Scorpion from Mortal Kombat used a chain with a spiky thing on the end, perhaps reminding clever players of the classic arthropod, also known as a scorpion, of which there is a Zoid robot shaped like a scorpion called the Guy Sack. And according to Mortal Kombat lore, Scorpion has a sack because if Johnny Cage does his down whatever punch, split punch to the nuts, Scorpion does react as though he was struck in the genital triangle. Your move, atheists! Alright, what if I told you the Berserk has a funny little horn? Oh, where's the last ring? Here's the last ring. The Berserker also has a funny little crown, officially. That's great. See, look at this little freak just running around like, oh, I'm so mad. Aaron Axsmith here with us in the chat. Hello, I'm welcome to Walter Waruder's Waruder Pwaruaytime. Am I missing an instruction sheet? I may well be. Oh no, this is just saying tail unit. Oh, okay. It's showing how you can use the three-way plug to just stick two tail whips on it. So it's just a cockpit with two tails hanging off the back. That's interesting. Yeah, very Big Daddy-esque. There are a couple of official in that they're in the product info pages combinations as well. I believe they're going to be found, by the way, the Waruder logo. I can't find a PNG or JPEG of this anywhere. I was trying to find one for the thumbnail. Nobody scanned this! Where are they? Here we go. So I'm going to also show you the Guillotinator and the Quad-Legger. The Quad-Legger is really not all that impressive. It's just 4 legs with a cockpit on the top. But I really want to make the Guillotinator. Because what a name. What a name. The Guillotinator. Instructions, aren't you tired of being nice? You know, society is nothing more than a... It's weird the instructions are telling me this, but the society is nothing more than a construct. I was thinking a lot about the word puroresu, trying to explain why that's the only reason I understood what Desigra was in the fan sub side of Geats that I was watching. Oh yeah, that quad loader. Is that the crawly thing? I know Aaron was talking that up. The power loader crawly squiddly thing. So I do want one of those. Brother, we're all constructed out of something. Yeah! I did end up having to, for the present time, I kind of had a choice before me of various things to look into. And I realized I was like, I feel like the fork in the road ahead of me right now is, do I mess with D vehicles or do I finally go get the bug head? And so I decided to, because this was a massive hole in me as a person. I also, in this package, by the way, oh my ender, that reminded me. The other thing in this box, aside from Waruder, was I finally got my first Sodo Geats. And I got all of Geats ID 5, which features powered boost Geats and Seeker. And then I also added a copy from ID 6 of the powered, like, the big gangly arms coming off the chain, the chest, with the 2 other big weapons. So the second Geats I will ever have built out of Sodo will be powered Geats. The first one I built was earlier today. I got a Boost Fever. This is my first Geats. This one is from, actually, Gav Sodo Series 2, so he's on the new Dinky base, and the instructions are a QR code. They're not printed in the box anymore. But he also comes with a premium head for Magnum Geats, which will be cool if I ever find a Magnum Boost Geats ever. Sodo building isn't going to be this stream, because that would be its own entirely separate thing. But I am tempted to do some Sodoing as a stream. This stream, I'm just going to be Warudering, because I got one other thing to talk about, too. So that's the one bummer, because I heard the boost top is the hardest thing to get, but they molded the scarf onto the top of the boost chest. If I understood correctly, at least, the big problem is that Boost Magnum Geats is the most expensive Sodo in many places, because you can't, that's like one of the only ways to get a boost chest, a boost top. So I picked this up because I don't have any anyway. But they molded the scarf in! It's not I thought I could just pull the scarf off because I had trouble finding coverage. I'm not mad though, because I also still want a couple more of these, because I just would like a bunch of premium of these, because I really like the compound eye. It's premium, it's basically fully painted with compound eyes, except for those little triangles. The little triangles are still 2 stickers, which is, you know, that's always going to be something that will immediately turn someone away from Sodo, and I don't, you know, I respect that. I just don't mind them that much myself. I need one of the blue suits, and I need to deworm it. I am a sort of like, I forgot to mention this, so they put out the Evo Lies Grappler as its own box, right, a couple years ago, to get some of the parts floating around again. I don't understand why they did not also do, like, a custom colorway, like, Evo Lies Guillotinator, because that thing looks a lot like something that could just be sold in a box. Is Sodo different from Sochok Henshin? Yeah. Sodo began with Exade. It's almost entirely ABS plastic with, like, some little PVC parts. And it's a candy toy line that is very sticker-oriented. It is produced, actually, by Mega House. Or at least it was. I don't know if it still is. According to the Bandai Candy Toy blog. And, yeah, the way that they have all the details available is with stickers. And that's also how they will have, like... What's an easy example? In Exade, for instance, they only released, like, 2 level 1 riders, but everyone had, you know, the face on the back of their suit in level 2. So the level 1 riders, you could buy a bunch of them because the level 2 riders would have an alternate sticker with the eyes activated on the back plate, so you could stick that on a level 1 and, you know, make all the suits. That blossomed massively in both directions. So nowadays, Sodo's whole thing is this vow to try their best to have every on-screen suit exist as a Sodo figure eventually, and the option stickers also ballooned outwards to where it's like, hey, you remember that one time someone's visor got cracked? That's an alternate sticker. If you, like, bought a second one, you can make that helmet be the cracked version or something. which is different from Shodo, or Shodo X, or Shodo Triple X, or whatever it's called now, which are mostly made out of nylon parts and some PVC, and they're fully pre-painted, but usually, like, you know, noticeably, the weapons usually aren't painted, for instance, whereas on Shodo, they're way less painted, but they have stickers for most everything from a front view. Oh yeah, Griff, that's right. Yeah, when I say on screen, like, that includes stage shows. They have a checklist website where they're, even though it's unlikely, I think, to ever get finished, they're like, we do know every suit that we have not yet made that we should be making. And some of them I'm kind of like, ain't no way you're ever making that, though. Because, like, in that list is stuff like the laser raise riser suits that are not human-sized. And I'm like, I don't think you're ever gonna do it, but I'll just keep saying that, so when you do, I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, I'm so mad. Mechanova King, I am not playing with toys, I'm doing science. This is the one bummer about messing with Waruders, is when you get two parts pegged together, and you can't get them apart without sticking a spudger in, because, like, there's no handholds, because they are just two little cylinders. So, do I need to extend this for it to fit through the Waruder suit? I would assume no. Oh! I see why I might want to... Oh, they're not using the tail! Guillotinator doesn't use the tail. So I do need to extend this a bit. We're on screen, right? Yeah. By the way, shouts out to any streamer ever trying to do things with physical objects. Trying to make sure that you keep yourself on screen while looking at your physical objects aforementioned. I probably need some of these parts again. Oh yeah, so this is also unique to the Waruder Raider bug head, is that the Raptor head comes with two of these long pods, but they just have, you know, sort of animal-shaped cockpit heads. The bug head straight up has mandibles to get at the Waruderoid that's inside. Do they want to make war rude? Actually, I think specifically they do, because they're like, we want to make sure that the shape of that the shapes we use to fight the humans are specifically unpleasant. Oh, is he using this part? I had kind of assumed the Guillotinator had instructions, so I am kind of just going to wing it. I think I'm going to make this imperfect, and then I'll just figure it out better later. Because I do want to get to opening up the other thing as well, because I am impatient. Yeah, the other bummer, because yeah, I would assume, yeah, it's premium Bandai to do the, you know, the laser raise riders. But then, for various reasons, Geet's Soto series got truncated, and there's like, what is it? They had to premium Bandai all the, like, the laser stuff, like the laser boost stuff, as its own premium Bandai set that was basically just 3 retail figures. It's like the most egregious premium Bandai Soto set that exists is that one. And by all accounts, which is to say Malinus, because Malinus always knows more about this stuff than me, the blog posts around that were very much like, if I understood correctly, very much like, nobody really likes this, but this is how we make it. I blame the Warud Academies. Yeah, I know. I dealt with them before. Bunch of clowns and jokers. Okay, so yeah, you put all 3 discs on. That's perfectly sized to have one sticking off the back. Which I kind of assume is going to be this one. Oh, I've been deceived. Yeah, Rider Wiki is pretty good about listing Soto stuff, although, how do I put this? Every time you click on a new image tab, it counts that as a whole new page when you start trying to go back, which is sort of annoying. Also, Rider Wiki's Soto listings are very, like, mechanical, so they don't list things like, I don't know how else to put it. They don't list the details I want. Like, you know, what is different between the premium version this and the retail version this, or like, how many of a thing would I want to have one body for every head that I have, or something like that. Here's that piece. Oh, we got some Sleem bouncing. Hell yeah, Cliff. We teach them the way. How many... What are we using for the arms here? I'm just having a little moment. Okay, so there's two double... Wait, does this come with two double... Oh, it does. Oh, wait. What just happened? Okay, I just briefly minimized every window. There we go. Oh, there's stuff in alternate chat I was not even looking at. Oh, the war dick is in alternate chat. Hooray. Hello, V-Rider. I ran through my old Waruder stuff and then just opened up the Bughead set. And now I'm trying to figure out how to make the Guillotinator build, because they don't actually give you instructions for it. It uses a Waruder suit. And it has a pair of funny little legs, so I think... Okay, that's a peg sticking out the front, so it could use the... Nope. It is a dark... Okay, it's using these. It's just using this one. Tactical phallus. My milkweed won't grow straight. Damn. Okay, so I am using these. Or am I just... I think they're just using a bunch of parts they have. So I think I can just use whatever I like. No one can... I'm gonna use the tan ones, because no one can stop me. No one can stop me! Not now! Oh, wait, no, these have stuff on them. Oh, I see. I can just pull the balls off these. I think this is what they did. Sorry, pulled the sockets off these so that they are full ball. And then we stick the full ball rings on. And then I'm jamming in. I need those scissor hands. Oh, I see. Those little sockets I pulled off are not long enough. Okay. So you're using these, obviously. Ah, that's what they're using. This is, by the way, kind of the build language I've noticed, at least, of the Waruders I have, which is pretty fun. Just ball sockets and cylinders everywhere, and a funny little guy with scissor buzzsaw hands. And then I'm guessing... Oh! I get it. Fold the peg up on that. Because this thing has a peg on one side and a hole on the other. So we'll switch it to use the hole. And that gives it a joint, too, to move backwards. Okay. We're so friggin' back. There is my guillotinator, finally. Oh yeah, the Waruders are just like, they're full of animal shapes. And the Bughead set adds a lot of these curvier shapes and wings and little like saws and like, you know, non-raptor feet. Which is all stuff I'm really hype about. Oh, the other interesting thing is these foot parts. So these are like jointed on two sides, right? If I understood what I saw correctly, and you peg them onto a ring on the bottom of a Waruder suit, and you open the foot of the Waruder suit. This is just the right size. Need to borrow something from the Raptor here. Hope you all like that little bump. That was to wake you up. Oh, you got a mistake, boy. Yeah, it is Waruder. They do the Waru because they're Warui. It's like the Waluigi Wario thing. They are so Waru. So if you've got something with two pegs over here, this should... Ooh, there's room for even more. Okay. So I could stick both discs in. Or is it just one? Is it just one? Anyway, it's a way to like a sideways way to attach another cylinder to like the bottom of one of these. Which I think is hell of cool. Because now we've got this like winged, bug-headed, scissor-handed serpent naga thing. And this, you know, the Waruders very much are shmup boss core, where, like, if you put enough parts of Waruder bits together, you get something that looks like the boss of somebody's shmup game in an arcade from, like, the mid-90s. Are you a bad enough dude? If they ever decide to stop being mean, they can become the Waruiders. Yeah, R-type stuff. Yeah, Space Harrier. It's like this thing floating at the top of the screen, right? And then, like, at the bottom of the screen, it's you and your little flying motorcycle, just like pew, 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 pew. Anyway, I got one other thing to open up. which is a little dangerous given that there's all these bits and pieces everywhere. Also, something I didn't show you, the Waruder suits in their original release, and I don't know that this is the case with the Grappler release afterwards, or the knockoffs, they also came with these little things which are 3mm pegs on either side connected by a hinge. I keep them in a bag because they're tiny, but these let you take 2 Waruder sockets, and it's like a male-to-male adapter to take 2 female sockets, put them together. That's so you can stick Waruder suits together front to back, but the fact that there's a hinge built into it as well, and it's like a pretty decently tight hinge, makes these really useful for also just adding a part with a female connector to another hole and having it on a joint now so it can flap around. So I keep these in a bag because I assume they're valuable and they're mine. But I don't believe that part made it out of the original Waruder suit releases. And you got 2 with each suit. So because I bought 4 suits, I got 4 times 2. That's math. Anyway, the other thing I got... Funny little thing. Where's that? Is We Geisting. This is the 3rd release of the Waruder Legion, which is a Dia Battles-ish scale Waruder biped thing. It's the 3rd release. So the first one was the Ripper, second one was the Vajra, and it is the 2nd Waruder mid-scale biped. The first one was the Waruderos soldier type, which were like small versions of the Waruderos Gigantor, which is big powered size. And the soldier types could turn into hands for the Waruderos Gigantor. So then they did the Waruder Legion to keep the pattern going, but without the Gigantor connotations. And yeah, these names are part of the reason why I got so confused for years as to whatever the hell was coming out for the Waruders. Because I'd be like, wait, so you've released Waruderos, and now you've released Waruderos Soldier type, but he's smaller. And now you have Waruder Legion. I assume that's Waruderos Soldier type again. No, that's Waruder Legion. Oh. That's my problem. And then they just most recently released the Waruder Roars Jaguar, which is a thing I'll show you in a few minutes. And because they called it Waruder Roars Jaguar, that only begs the question, oh, does that mean there will perhaps be a second Waruder Roars with a different quadruped attached to it? Need to pick up Waru milk from the Waru store for your Waru wife and Waru child. Oh, true. Anyway, this is the core of the Waruder Legions, which is the... what do they call this thing? I forgot its funny normal name, but it has little feet. The Ripper version is cuter, because the Vajra added this, like, really obvious, like, boy, I wonder what that is up there thing. But the original one was just a little stumpy thing, but it was like one of these, but, like, blown up and bulked up, and so obviously you can kind of see that in this. But gone are the worm pods, because I believe this is now just the Waruder pod? Yeah, something like that. The way that the Waruders get into their cockpits is much different now. I do know this part from having observed lots of coverage of these where I could. So here's again a Waruderoid. Let me change the focus again. Go back to 50. Not me. Okay. Back to 60, sorry. Alright, so, how do you get into... where'd I put it? How do you get into your Waruder pod? Simple. You show how you're not a person by folding backwards at the legs into this funny block shape. And then just kind of like wedge in there. And now you're a little You'll notice the 2 holes are still there. So it is something you can just plug onto stuff. Also, wow, what sculpted detail, right? What if I told you? What if I told you this thing could friggin'... It's a whole other pod! And on the Ripper, this pod is, like, I think a bit longer, and it hinges open for the robot head to, like, fold inside, and that's so friggin' money. Also, the original to the Vajra and the Ripper do not have this part. One of these is in darker colors, comes with the Waruder roars, but this was the new part for the Geists. So originally they didn't have the crunch, and they were a little bit squattier. Oh, I put that on crooked. Don't tell anybody I put that on crooked. Anyway, which way was the... I forgot which way the pilot was facing. I still want to have them sticking out, like, without going upside down, because I just think visually that's neat. But I see the draw to having them going upside down, so it's even more weird. But yeah, more of these, like, 2-peg, 4-hole systems. Well, 2 holes in that case. It varies. There's a bunch of that on Waruder roars as well. Ooh, neat. There's little Healy things. And I'm assuming no ratchets. Because Waruder Roars is sick with ratchets. For various reasons. Well, that's the thing, right? Is the Waruder commanders... Like, they just get to sit. They just get to hang out in a chair. The ones who get into these pods are having to, like, you know... They're like, we eschew bipedality. We hate our legs. I'm going to just get the bits out of here. It's a bit easier for me to get into the instructions. But yeah, these are the things that I think I saw attached to Diaclone parts as, like, turbine things. Also these, which have the connector for all the cylinders, what if you just want drills? I have a a hand-me-down Herman Miller chair back in the island, and I love it so. It's so comfy. I'm one of those people. What's all this gonna be about? Huh? I don't know. Here's all these bits and pieces. I'm a Hermamumler person. I got the Hermamumlers. Spinny. Is it Waruradors or Waruderas? It's Waruderas. There ain't Waruders don't use doors; they just fold. What are all these little pieces? I get what these are. I'm gonna need a little bag for this, I think. Like, these are little female-to-female pieces. Hey, listen, I got no problem with Big Herman. We're liking the Woolwa pieces over here. We got requests from the fans for some more Woolwa pieces, please. Scissor Me Timbers, famous Mega Man villain. Alrighty. That's where the focus point is. Okay, I'm going to move it back a little. Let's go back by 5. Actually, this thing's going to get tall. We'll just go back to 50. Okay. We just get out the manual, which I think is different from the guidebook, because another beautiful, lush thing Diaclone Reboot does is there's usually 2 books. Yep. There's the manual, which tells you how things work, and then there's just the funny book with the nice pictures of everything. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, all the Waruderoids... Where's one I can easily pull at? They don't come with any, like, steel sheet stuff, but they all got the rare earth magnets on the bottoms of their boots, so they can stick to things. Yeah, the pretty pictures, yeah, they put them in a separate book, so when you just want to look at what it can do, yeah, you just chill out. You don't have all this... you know, business here. Right, the Legio Core. That's what this is called. It's a Legio Core. So this is specifically the Legio Core +2 with ab joint. And then where was that piece? This is called the Hanger Raider Core piece, I think. So you gotta make the Hanger Raider. So what's kind of cool is all the bits that are not the Legio Core, and this goes back to the first release, the Ripper, I believe. Is you can just, like, stick everything together into a little ship, which I am a fan of. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, there's even, like, a painted, like, there's a painted, cellular-looking window thingy in there. So it's like it has an eyeball. I'm doing this the right way? Alright, then we can put the spinny bits on. Those who are wondering, by the way, after a stream where I open a bunch of stuff like this, yes, it takes me a long time to clean my desk. We're sticking the drill bits in here. Just noticed something. I think on the drill pieces... yeah, another 3mm connector hidden in there. Oh, jeez. Desk cleaning stream. For when the stream is done, I finally can, like, stop talking, just clean my... I would never get it clean if I was streaming when I cleaned my desk. I'd just be like, hey, look at this. Hey, check this out. I think this is all 3mm as well. By BetterHelp. Didn't BetterHelp turn out to, like, not be nice people? That's... How do I put this? That is such a common thing to take place. I actually lost track of the BetterHelp story. Okay, so for the sake of the Hangar Raider, I do get to show you the weird, funny weapon system. Which I believe these parts are all related to. But this has a whole thing where even the melee weapon, as you can see, can be, like, heavily customized with various bits and bobs. Okay, yeah, they were just giving you randos on the phone that were not therapists. Yeah, I remember this because I'd heard about them so often. I was like, huh, okay, I just kind of banked that, you know. I was like, that's a name. But then whenever that happens, eventually something goes down, and I'll hear like, damn, what happened with BetterHelp? And I'll just kind of go like, what did they do? And then whenever it's something like, you know, whenever it happens, it's always just bonkers enough. Like in this case, where I'm like, that's ridiculous. Also, this thing. I think, Omander, you mentioned manta rays before. This has definitely got, like, a little bit of a manta-ish vibe going on. Obviously, the eye is not in the right place, but it looks kind of fishish. Still gotta stick these on, though. Y'all ever get a little fishish? Just for fun? It's ridiculous as whatever this thing is. Hey, listen. Let a little Waruder into your life. Oh, wow. Oh, that's tight. There we go. What's funny is on the product page, this thing gets its own highlighted photo as foot spike, because it's the spike you can rotate out of the foot. I don't know, something about that is funny to me. I get this one out myself. I'm just going to use the wedge. Oh, that's more easy. That's more easy. What's easier? Made up word. That's more easy. So I do know that the Vajra version of this has a mode where its Legio core can Gattai sit on top of this, and it's called Satan's Slay. As in, like, S-L-E-I-G-H. And that's pretty cute. I wonder if this thing can do Satan's Slay mode. It probably could. But yeah, here's the Hangar Raider. This thing flies around, and then the Legio core +2 is running around beneath it. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The Geist in this colorway specifically, by the way, if you can get things shipped to you from Japan, which I know right now I think you all can, but, you know, I always kind of want to couch it right with that this year. I was able to get this Geist for 11,000 yen before shipping. If you can do that, I think that's a super solid way to go. So this one is actually a decently purchasable toy in the year AD 2025. Oliver Springen, yeah, I've heard Tri-Digger kicks ass. Alright, let's make the Marauders. This thing has 2 big robot modes. The Marauder, which is just a big guy, and then the Geist, which is a big guy with bigger shoulders. But some of these tricks, I have been looking forward to seeing how they work in person. Because, like, these feetsies, for instance, turn into thigh armor by using the cylinder slide, and I think that is super dang cool. Oh, just literally plug these in. Hell yeah. Duh. Okay, so when they're not in use, these things fold up like that. You're a big Waru guy for Waru. I know what year it is, but I'm still gonna say I'm something of a Waruder myself. Ooh. I knew this thing had a certain height, but like actually finally experiencing it in person is it's a nice little milestone for me in my personal history. Are those Itano Circus missiles on the inside of the knee plate? Possibly. It looks kind of just like a really rude chain. I know the Ripper has these, like... 2 of the circle parts on the Ripper version have these little, like, teeth sticking out, and then in one of the animations, they're like little tooth missiles that shoot out. And that's kind of cool. Also, this heel piece folds up to pull out the other peg, which is fun. The KO Convoy, is that thing worth it? Yeah! It is not as good as the original, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that Diaclone has a very high standard. It is still really darn cool. If you can get it for, what is it? The good price on it is something like $130 or $140 American. And that is worth it for the trailer alone. The robot is basically free. Obviously, it's not literally free, but like that is sort of, if one were to sort of give the gist, right, of how that whole thing feels, that's where it's at. Was Ripper one of the BotCon Waruders too? So Ripper came out after that BotCon. I'm not sure if that's like connected or not. Also, this is supposed to come off because this just plugs into the back apparently. Oh, it's just a gap fill. Okay. And they do want the foot... After I went through all the trouble of folding them away. They're a bit less hard to fold out now, thankfully. It can be free with enough determination. Well, I think it's harder when it's a toy that's in Japan and secondhand, because like you'd have to be pulling some real like heist movie stuff to get into that position. Which I suppose just falls under the definition of enough determination, now that I'm thinking about it. Also, I was a little bit meaner to this than I didn't know that this was turned around. So there is... Oh yeah, this is kind of cool. Dynamic face reveal. And, oh yeah, there we go. We're catching the light. Diaclone Reboot has some of the best light pipe tech in the biz. There's the window back here. Hard to do on stream easily, but sometimes I can catch a reflection. Surely I can just stick this in his back still. Like, why would I take the spike off? It's funnier this way. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no! My hubris. Dabbable. So I can see how a tall bipedal Waruder piece, especially a used one like I got, I can see how it can get a little bit frustrating here and there because everything comes apart. So if you're just sort of grab-handsing it like I was, you can pull the arms out pretty easy. I want to give him a weapon. I just want to see what he looks like when he's armed. So this is the small robot mode. Also, I like this. It's 3 fingers, 2 thumbs, so it's still 5 fingers, but it's just, like, better than ours. What a Waruder thing to do. Let's not go all the way through. Oh no, there we go. That's pretty cool. Sanhelly thumbs, fallen hands. Yeah, that's neat. So, that means I could take the plug out the back. Oh, this is gonna be really tricky to take out. You might say, how on earth am I ever gonna get that out of there? So I have a plan. It's just like long. What the hell? Okay, hang on. I pulled on his head to get the core out. The head comes up on like a stick handle thing. What's going on? Why can it do that? I'm removing his plug to put the bigger plug in. It's time for the big plug. So, stick this back in here. You take the whole ass hanger raider and just ram it back in there. Yeah. So now it's like, where's your weapon storage? I don't know. I got whatever weapon storage I want back here. Can he stand when I do that? Yes, he can! That's really jutting off the back, too. What's next in the manual? Oh, okay, now we're going to do the Geist. We're in. So. That's cool. So these things will slide down from being shoulder pads to being wrist pads. Ooh, they even kind of friction in a bit. Pull those off. Oh, I see. More chest! So... if I plug this in, does that still rotate? It still rotates! Okay, so that little... the socket it pegged into still can rotate autonomously. Oh, and then below as well. Interesting. So I want this out enough to still have that outward motion. As above, so below. Having some of my, ooh, new toy does what moments here. Mimicry. This is currently the top video recommendation in the search engine when looking up Diaclone Waruder. Are you serious? That's really funny. What an indictment of English language Diaclone reboot coverage. I wonder if I can put the spike on, then the shoulder. Oh no, I basically did. Okay. Anyway, the Geist has gotten all puffy. Ooh, okay. So this thing sticks in the back, and then this thing joints down kind of like a tail-ish, but out of this, it's a spinal tail. Well, tails are all spinal, aren't they? Isn't that the whole point? So an upper cervical tail. Oh, other side. That's pretty friggin' neat. Oh, and now they're also like, yeah, now, and now, you know, face reveal. What's up, Chris Carnage? Hey there, Dynamo Dave. Yeah, so this one, the Anode Geist, is also one of the least expensive Waruder sets you can get right now, which is pretty neat. The Dark Cathode version is darker looking. Notably, they painted the visor so it's a mono eye rather than a visor. And then the weapons are blue and red gradiented, if I recall correctly, which is kind of neat too. And then all the tan parts are like a darker shade. Obviously, Dark Cathode, very much up my alley aesthetically. Why do I not collect it? It's all more expensive. So people generally don't seem to want the anode versions, it seems, as nearly as much. And I kind of like the anode version, so I'm like, here I am. Because on Mandarake, for instance, you can get this thing around about 11 to 13,000 yen. The last Dark Cathode one that showed up on there, 22,000 yen. So I'm like, I would like the Dark Cathode one eventually. It did come in a cool set if you got it and Waruder together. There was a version of that had like a slip case over top for the funny thing they do. Speaking of which, let's introduce you. I think I've shown this once before. But here is friend Waruder. Hang on, I gotta move them back a bit. I need to clear the Waruder Legion part heap out of the way. So this is Waruder in its Zaurer mode, where it kind of looks like, you know, a dino Zaurer. That's right, double the price, double the fun. If you haven't seen Waruder, hell of light piping in the eyes up there. Also, lots of teeth. They're very sharp. Real cockpit. None of that podding nonsense. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this on Waruder, but these, like, you know, spike details here actually they can come out, and there's one of these, you know, cylinder compatible plugs on both sides. Make sure you can see that. So you can stick like entire extensions out of the sides of Waruder hips and shoulders. And these things kind of have a buzzsaw look too, which is sort of neat. It's Waruder. It's a Waruder that roars. Also, the chainsaws here actually do spin if you want to. This thing is sort of has terrifying joint tolerances all over the place. I did a bunch of tweaking. For those who know, I did not remove the danger screw because I wanted to see precisely what it does. So mine does have little, like, friction scratching. You can maybe kind of see that white line there. I mean, if I'm doing videos, that'll help me be able to show what it does. If I ever get a second Waruder, I will probably remove the danger screw. Highway. But yeah, let me turn this back into a quadruped, and then we can do the really funny thing. But I'm not sure if they're still in here, but very much thanks to Option Zero, who was in the chat earlier. Option Zero basically has dissected one of these to identify, like, what is worth tweaking and what is just worth tweaking if you're, you know, if you're a sicko. I'm only a little bit sicko for it, but I get it. So I went in and I opened up some of the double ratchet joints, and I loosened a few of them with a little bit of lubricant so that they would not be quite so terrifying to work with. What is the danger screw? Here, let me show you. By the way, the limbs come off on Waruder. He's packed that way. They all have the cylinder things, so these are also, like, you could stick one of these onto the Geist shoulder if you want to. So the danger screw is that screw. You can see it shining, catching the light right there. That screw right there. If you remove it, the toy stays together. The danger screw, when you're doing the double ratchets that are built into here, one of the positions, the one we're going to, I think, in fact, the danger screw bites in to this here, and you can see it left a little gouge. I appreciate that this would bother people. It honestly really doesn't bug me that much because it's so invisible most of the time, but I understand, you know, why you'd want to let people know about the danger screw. You want to go Leo Breaker on... I mean, we could quickly give him a little Leo Breaker action. Actually, why go Leo Breaker when you can just, like, be really messed up? Wait, how do I do this without pulling the wrong parts off? There we go. Okay, it's easier to go Leo Breaker. Mom said it's my turn on the Nintendo Switch 2. Mom said it's my turn. Hang on, I can make this a bit more even looking. There we go. Mom said it's my turn on the Nintendo Switch 2. Can we have a stomach arm? I think I did that once for fun. I mean, yeah, you can... Lay you down for a second. You could just stick this here if you want to get, like, really artistic about things. Oh, by the way, one of the things I lubricated, so you see the socket in there? That ratchet joints as well, and it ratchets fulcruming on these two 3mm pegs. So I loosened that inner ratchet joint a ton on both sides. Because it was so tight, I feel it was stress marking the pegs. And I was like, I don't want to torque a tremendously strong ratchet joint with two 3mm pegs. I think that is overconfident. Just to show some more of the ratchets at work here. Even ratchets on these. A little bit. Or is that... No, wait, I'm moving the elbow. Yeah, that's a detented clicky. Oh yeah, we gotta rotate this down. Want the ears forward a little bit more. I don't know how much of it is coming through on the stream due to, like, maybe noise cancellation or stuff like that, but everything on Waruder Roars is detented and ratchet mechanismed. Almost entirely for one reason that I haven't been able to properly access till now. So anyway, it's the size of a small cat. Like, it's pretty big. This thing is all jointed too. But there's a funny thing you can do. So if you fold that up, open these bits. Oh wait, don't close them yet. And then, I think this just goes. Yeah. And these front ones... Hang on, Geist is so in the way. I'm moving you over here for a second. These front ones actually have... these sticky outy bits here have click-in C-clip sockets in here to fully, like, lock them. It came out. How embarrassing. Also, all 4 paws have spreadable toes. And then on the front one, they're also individually knuckled because they're hands. Oh no, these ones, so yeah, these ones are knuckled. I got that wrong. And then these ones spread. That's the 2 things they can do. So, it comes with another one of the midsection joint from Geist, and this is how I was able to use my existing Waruder suits and Raider and build like a big tentacle arm body to stick on top of this. But the actual intent involves putting the arm back on that I took off. So you take the Geist, pop him in half. Geist already has the joint needed for this. And you just plop him on there. Ooh, that's neat. And then these things, I think you're supposed to stick these into them, which is a bit much, but oh, those go in way less scary than I thought they were gonna. Okay. Oh, fidgety. Getting the twitches. So you get this, I think it's called the Jaguaroid mode. Not sure precisely how you're supposed to do these parts, but it's a centaur. And then, if I recall correctly, this actually will work. There we go. I don't know. I do not know how to remotely share this with you with this webcam setup. I'll pull these things out, maybe. Oh, wow. I have him standing, basically. It's so very hard to share. Oh, have a good night, Robot Lore Keeper. But yeah, they built these back hips like to be able to hold all of the front rearing up, and then like, you know, I don't know if you could see, I have, because on the front these are the opposable thumb hands, so when this rears up you can also have them set up like, I'm also gonna claw your optics out kind of stuff. Oh yeah, also back here you can bend the midsection side to side. I do not believe Geist has any diecast. I don't think Diaclone Reboot has any notable uses of diecast. That's why it was a big deal when the knockoff of Convoy, they changed the feet to be diecast on the outside. And it, like, throws off the tolerances of the plastic plate underneath. Oh, can you make it... I need to... I think I... Well, let me see. I don't want to do the rear up pose again, because it's more work than I thought it was going to be. But you could make this... Because, yeah, the dabbing was just from the waist up. You could totally make this dab while doing the rear up. I just want to show this in comparison to a singular human. So here's a person next to this thing. Actually... Bad place to be. What a bad time you're gonna have. Imagine not only being held like this, but then if the thing holding you looks at you, right? Like, that would be the worst. Siege Hound. I don't have... Oh! I don't have Detritus around here anymore. I don't know, does everyone have one of these because they were on sale? Can you put any parts on just the lower half of guys? Yeah, I mean, this is a whole set of legs with a socket up here, so, like, you could take, for instance, one of these parts, stick it on there. Do we all like really tall bugs? Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. I've shown you my tall bug. Ma'am, ma'am, please respond. Ma'am, urgent. I have shown you my tall bug. His arms are so tiny compared to the rest of this, but I love it. You could also, if you wanted to, this is just the start of a build, but, like, it's common to take these things and also, like, have them be, like, dual, like, hunger style dual dragon heads. Or you can just socket these. You could use these as hands, technically, as, like, weird grabber claws. There is something really cool that I've always wanted to try. They don't give you instructions for this, but it can do it. So what on earth was that I just was encountering? Oh, right. That was the foot, I think. No, what is this? Anyway. This was around since Ripper number 1, or sorry, Waruder Legion number 1, the Ripper. But this whole thing is a cylinder, too. And then this can rotate, and this can plug back up into the bottom of this part, like, to lock it in. Where is that picture I had? I had a page loaded with a photograph for me to look at so I can remember how they do this. Yeah, the old Korada. Oh, wait. In my opinion, if you ask me, this is pretty neat. Were those just 2 more of these stuck on? Okay, they were. Oh, no, I stuck the other ones on top and the others... Okay, I see. Do these come out? Oh, it's the wrist guards. That's what it is. Hang on, we're doing this right. We're doing this as John Diaclone intended. Oh, I covered the chat. Oh, I made the chat short. I made it tall again. I don't really understand why they left this out of the instruction book, because, like, I know I saw someone in the TFW thread recently saying, like, that they got a Geist and they were kind of, like, milquetoast on it a little bit. They were like, I thought it would do more. And I think if you don't know that it can do this, absolutely, that would probably be a bit more of a middling experience. I'll take it easy, Mike. Oh, it's sticking onto this thing. Excuse me, I gotta pull this socket out of your back. Tall bugs and short chats are what we're all about here at Walder's Waruder Pwaruaytime. Thank you for knowing the slogan, GD Slalom. That is, in fact, yes, our classic slogan. I could have sworn I just heard something making like a cartoonish boyoyoing noise outside my window, which would be really weird because I am not on the street level. Alright, let's don't do it again. The coil spring sprite. The least threatening of all of God's ghost creatures. There we go. Yeah, okay, okay. So. Hey. Ooh. Seasonal flavor spring sprite? In my country? Where in the world? Oh, there's the... I forgot. I did not have it plugged into the crotch. Get back up in there! Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Snake guy! I just think that's really cool. You know, that someone can just snake it up. Ah. You want my buried treasure? And then, like... Ooh! Ooh! Wait. What if I... Can I do this? Oh, no, it's not like a glove. Oh, wait. Ooh, hang on. He loses that. Oh, but this would be cool for... Ooh, but I want to have the legs, though, too. I don't know what to do. I have too many choices. Ah. I dropped the spike ring and it bounced away from me! It's fine. I just wonder... Hang on, I want to go pick it up before I forget that it bounced away from me. Jesus wept! Oh, it's in the worst place! You all know the place. You've been there before. Angles, all wrong. Position, all wrong. Oh, there you go. Thought you could get away from me, huh? Nobody escapes! Yeah, no spike equals toy ruined. Send it back. Send it back. Alright. The connections are not working the way I thought they were going to. But there is some way you can, like... I guess I could just use a cylinder. So this is the power of having a bunch of Waruder stuff. Is you can go like, well, I have a cylinder, though. So what if I just stick that cylinder in? That's a male-to-male cylinder. The male-to-male cylinder? There we go. We're starting to... Nope, that just popped right out. Oh, but what if... Oh, it's too fat. Okay. There's something workable here. So I'm just looking at the detail underneath, seeing if there was more mouth stuff in there. Parry the male-to-male cylinder? The same. Perry, I thought you were in a different continent. This is better on longer bits. Proud to announce the launch of my Onlymans. With my exclusive... I can't make the Gamer Subs joke anymore because they got too many weird people on that site. Damn it. Alright. So, hear me out. I do like this as like a measuring gauge, almost. What I did there... is plug this on and then slid out until this was even. Yeah. There's a way I can get the legs to stick on here as, like, over-the-shoulder dragon heads, I think. You know, your average over-the-shoulder dragon heads. Yeah, there we go. I'd watch a stream of only someone dropping prime and vitamin water drinks in a landfill. Let me tell you, as someone who intends to never imbibe prime, it's amazing how everyone who ever has also said, wow, this sucks. It's like there's not even... Were it a written sketch, there's nothing even written for it. It's just like, what if the bad drink did well that nobody liked? Oh, you can take those spikes off. Hello, I didn't even think about that. Thank you for springing. Oh... They're longer, too! Look at that! Oh, dang! The thruster itself can come off, so that means the thruster itself is a female-to-female 3mm adapter. Yeah, that's kind of sick, too. So that means thruster's in, it's a female socket. You can pull the thruster off, so it's a male socket. You can use the thruster as a hot swappable female-to-female adapter. Hello? Oh, and these ones down here come off too. This part I didn't actually know about. So there's lots of little cool bits and pieces. Like it's like the spikes on the Waruder roars. Lots of little bits and pieces that can come off. Oh, that's sick. I want the spikes on for now, just because I want to amp this up for maximum Jaguaroid aesthetic. What should we do with this? I mean, I could just stick this on the... Yeah, I can't really share this easily, but... Hang on. Cooking. Oh, the pegs are also foldable. Okay. How do I show you this? My mic will be in the way. He's very tall now. There, you can see him here. This is really stupid. You thought you could stop me by having a taller building than my jaguaroid boat, you fool! Human! Orokana ningen yo! Truth be told, as I cup it before I do this, survives the shake test kind of decently. Like, he's bobbing left and right. Oh, he's sinking. His joints are... He's sinking back. His joints are bending. It's holding the weight up decently, though. If you had more than one Geist, could you keep chaining the snake bit? I think you could. Or if you had more than one Waruder Legion. So if you... Like, one of my long-term plans is I would like to get me a Vajra and a Ripper as well. And then I'll have 3 of these chain links that I think I could put together to just make a big, long, like, Waruder snake. Get all these ring bits off for a sec here. Ooh. I mean, there are several forever modes. Like, the Waruder suits can plug side by side on their cylinder shoulders, right? So you can just have, like, a giant long line of them as long as you like. This even has a detent when you do this. Like, that clicked. And that clicked. That's so cool. Oh, and then, like, it's buried now, wherever it went. The 3-way cylinder prong, the Y-shaped cylinder prong, could also let you, like, double tail or double body one of these things. There we go. I dare say, what a little heck of a toy that is. And yeah, obviously, like, this is just, like, the tip-top of the molehill as far as, like, build possibilities. You know, slam all the Raider bits in as well. And I should say, couch all of this, obviously... the other Snake Transformer's Night Viper. Couch all of this, obviously, with, you know... If aesthetically this isn't doing anything for you, then, like, the tactile nature of what it's doing is only going to be able to be so impressive. So bear that in mind. We always slamming all the bits over here at Waruder's playtime. Pwaruaytime. They gotta be saying the funniest things.
Let me tell you, I love my granddaughter. Hey, it's me, Walter Waruder. Guess what my secret is? Ah! Damn. Falls to his death immediately. Wait, it's gonna be worth it. Oh, hey, I'm actually in here. It's me, Walter Waruder, for real. Want to see something cool? Ah! Falls to his death immediately. Unless I'm missing something with them. I might have been missing something with these, I don't know. Yeah, these can't go all the way through. Ugh. I'm gonna see if I can do the old double handy. Oh, hello. Is that on a hinge? Yo! Look at that. It's got the He-Man hinge. I didn't even realize. So this thing can do an I have the power. What? The hands are on little cylinders! Thank you for springing. I genuinely don't know why on earth that would have been filtered through, but YouTube is a funny and magical modern platform. Yeah, I'm not sure what else could go in that socket. I don't remember if I've ever seen something that's that size. I'm sure part of the idea is that at some point they could use that Legio core hand as like, oh, maybe it's like leftover from Ripper? Because I know Ripper had like fold-away hands and more modular socketing. Can the weapon handle fit? I don't think so.
Oh, a neat thing about the roars, by the way, is that it also is held together by these sockets. So technically, one could attach like the snake tail to that, or etc. This is, by the way, a mode. The Waruder roars can separate into two bespoke little things, and one of them is just this, like walking around with that as the head. I think that's kind of funny. That's not the right shape. Oh, no. It's a big socket. There's no pegs or anything. I was hoping I could just jam the torso on there. Two front halves of a roars. Trickier. Because roars doesn't have a socket on this. And I guess you could... You'd be losing the animal head depending which way you rotate this internal, like, gimbal. Can you jam the cockpit in there? Should be able to. Yeah, there you go. This is an element, by the way, of both Diaclone and Waruder stuff, is like, in-universe... Part of the reason why everything is so modular is that if you blow apart one of their vehicles, either side of the conflict, they are feasibly, in lore, able to just, like, slam a bunch of parts together to continue fighting. The Waruders more so, I think, like, in real time. You bring a new meaning to War Dick. Actually, I could extend this, maybe. Oh, wait, could I just take... Hang on a sec, can I just take this? This thing just comes wandering up to you like a Silent Hill creature. What's my metaphor? What's my metaphor? Oh, Timu, that's what I did when I had one raider, like the Raptor Head Raider and 4 suits, and that was it. Is they lived for a while as like one combined monstrosity. It was very fun. So technically, mimicry, because the Diaclone mecha stuff kind of has a bunch of different connectors, and one of them is 3mm ports and pegs. So the 3mm connections are like how you can translate Diaclone and Waruder stuff together if you want to.
Yeah, Verspringen, that Battle Buffalo PV is why I bought 4 Waruder suits when they came out. Because I was like, I want in on the ground floor. By the way, Waruder suits can just stick onto the hips of roars if you want. This could be like a very like makeshift walker thing with additional pilots. Where'd I put that? Before it tried to roll away on me. There it is. 3 Waruder pirates just trying to... Pilots? Sorry, not... The Waruders are never pirates. They're always right. Just trying to make their way, you know? Let us pass. Still waiting for me to... What? Oh! Well, that explains that. That happened as I pulled it off. Okay, so yeah, the leg extensions. Oh, yeah, so this could totally be a hand now. Yeah. You see why I wanted to, like I gotta end stream kind of soon because I'm dying of hunger. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I gotta cook stir fry. But you see why I wanted the Waruder stuff to kind of get its own stream time? Because this can go on for a long time. Oh, this needs a... Where's my M to M? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's like a whole different kind of hand. No, I need these Waru tips and Waru tricks or I'm just not going to Waru know them. I could have been writing entire review pieces, not Waru knowing about the Waru leg Waru trick. Even though it kind of happened when I pulled it off of there anyway, but regardless, what if I didn't know? Anyway, yeah. Look at all the friggin'... Oh! Let's go over here. Look at all the friggin'... Oh, yeah! All this stuff. While we're writing my Waru script, listen. I support both sides of the conflict. I think the Waruder Gundan and the Diaclone people, you know, of Earth, like, they both make very good points. Gotta rescue the poor Dianoth that got buried under there. Actually, that's a Diowaru centrist. Thank you very much for springing. Listen, how can you look at this and see anything but, like, benevolence, right? Oh, what's up, Delta Trion? Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm talking about all the good ideas that me and other people have. I'll make this a bit more mech walker. Maybe that'll appease the people who are, you know, a little bit scared of change. What a Waruber. I would have gone with Waruwibba. Oh no! Oh no! That is what one can define as being hoisted on one's own petard. Yeah, that's right, that's right. You're all trying to box me in as Daya or Waru. I'm Wawu, alright? Okay, I love how, I put that there in that position. When I click these out, watch it vibrate. Like it's actually blurring on screen for a second. Doing, doing. Oh, so fun. Yeah, Daiwa. I'm the Daiwa era. The common riders I'm gonna bring to the screen, you just wait. When the Daiwa era starts, it's gonna be so Wawu. You won't even believe it. I'm actually kind of into this. It's just this weird, like, makeshift... It has two little pinchy claws, right? Like, right there. Common Rider Wawu and his best friend Walder. Correct. We are, like, that is definitely treading into the realm that they talk about, where, like, you're making a bit, and your bit is built on a bunch of lingo and language and words and syntax that only makes sense if you're in a niche community who are into one niche thing, and then we're re-niching the niche. So now if someone just wanders in, like poor JT Elm right now, and goes like, what the hell is going on? And we're like, no, don't worry, we're just getting real Wawu with it, alright? It's the Daiwa era coming up. Rise up. Wawu fan cam incoming. This is my original creation with my Waruder toys. Hang on. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of that vibrate going on. Doing. Waru the hell is going on? That's right, sorry, not wanders in. You Warundered in. To Walter Walder's Waruder Pwaruaytime. And I hope you're having a great time. Extremely Wawu. The worst part is, I'm gonna forget about half of this. And like at TFCon or something, someone's gonna like, hey, pretty Wawu, huh? And I'm gonna be like, what the what? What'd you call me? What'd you... Ah, yes, all according to Wawu. Man, I want to, like, look at that hand socket again. I actually just realized something. Hang on a second. This does look familiar. Especially with that purple plastic. Because the tail does come out to be a handheld weapon. But I wondered why this could come off. Because the tail is a handheld weapon like this, right? But you could pull this off. And I was like, I wonder why. Excuse me. These are the same diameter. Things just got a whole lot more Wawu, if you ask me. Now, that certainly should not be the sole reason why you purchase a Waruder Roars. But that's pretty cool. That also means Waruder roars can have an ass hand ready to cup. I was just watching some Gao recently. And imagine if Gao theme song was for Wawu and it was just like wah 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 wah. Ah. I was wondering what the hell that stupid cylinder connection was. Man. I only just remembered it because I was staring at this, like, stupid dick monster I made. Because also, like, that entire handle gets plunged right up the hole when you put this into Waruder Roar's rear socket. To be fair, this could also be, like, top-mounted. I like that this all comes back to War Dick, too. The male-to-male ports. Damn it, where did those come from? Oh! These! You mean these? These come with the Waruder suits if you get them in their, like, original releases. You get 2 per suit. And these have a little joint in the middle. They're like Fig Arts wrists. But you just get a bunch of them. They're like a bag of these should be with every single Joy Toy figure. Then I would probably be back to buying Joy Toy figures. Yeah, you're looking at 4,000 to 5,000 yen per Waruder suit nowadays. And the knockoffs, I don't think have those things. So yeah, it's a non-negligible purchase. But hey, what's better than having a quest to go on? What's better than getting to live my nightmare of endlessly trying to make perfect one-store Mandarake carts of all the lowest priced things of the things I want? If you want these without the joint in the middle, Battle Buffalo comes with a bunch of them, and I think 2 of the D vehicle sets come with a bunch of 3-3, 4-4, and 4-3 adapters, if I remember correctly. As does Diaclone Combat Chronicle, but that is not the most expeditious way to purchase any of that anymore. I pre-ordered that stuff on HLJ because why not? And then they shipped during the pandemic, and I forgot about them for a year, and then found out much later, oh, I have the treasure cache of all the adapters. Yeah, Battle Buffalo comes with them on sprues, so if your friend has them, hasn't opened them, and doesn't want to use them, you should make an offer, I guess. So yeah, the 3-3, 4-4, and 3-4s, I think, are all on the sprues that come with Battle Buffalo or those 2 D vehicle sets. I forgot which ones, but if you see an unboxing for a D vehicle set and it has a sprue of little peg-to-peg things, those are the things. Another reason, by the way, why, like, the fall-off of English language Diaclone coverage, I think, has been an issue. Because this also gets into the realm of things that, in my opinion, are harder to search up in a 3,007-page thread. Because now, if you just know you're looking for adapters, you don't know what they come with, and you search the word adapter, you will get a lot of results, I believe. The going price for Oh, hey there, Wyatt Vogel. How's the active war zone going? Did you purchase any street meats? And maybe have a fun dance? Seems to be what's actually mostly happening over there. What's the usual going price for 2016 die battles nowadays? Lots. It really depends on what... die battles, so... By 2016, do you mean the... Actually, it's variable. Okay, so... From what I've observed, the DA01 tends to go for more because it's a bit of a collector's item, even though it is strictly worse than every other one. The DA01EX prototype moon-based colors still tends to go for a lot. DA11 Alpha Plus version is gone down because of the recent reissue, but it still hovers a bit. DA45 Red Lightning is insanely expensive. And then the new reissues, DA112, 113, and 114, which have the Red Lightning retoolings and are Pantone matched to the red found on Dia Battles X1. I saw them on Mandarake recently for around 5,000 yen each, opened. And it seems like they're hovering around 6 to 7k yen on a lot of different sites. And I no longer remember if I'm answering your question. Yeah, Saturday in DC, like, if you're in DC area, like, you know, do what you gotta, but also stay friggin' safe. Yeah, loose DA01 should not be... Oh, man, loose DA0... Now I don't know. Because, like, to explain... Right? Oh, also, there's Dia Battles, the white one with the booster. That's also different. But anyway, DA01, so to explain, the very first release, it has a slightly more brittle connector for one of the bullet pods, and it doesn't have the silver painted as much. There's more just gray plastic, and the bike is a different color, and the joint tolerances are not quite as good as on DA11. However, because it has a different colored bike and is a unique item, it tends to go for a decent... I don't know. My immediate assumption would be 150 to 200 for DA01. Would be my assumption, but yeah, I don't know. Because yeah, the prototype moon-based one is a DA01 in like these sort of lunar off-white greenish tinges, and then the Cosmo one is in like astronaut white with red and yellow, and the different Dia Battles 2. Or Battles Machine 2. Going off my script. Cosmo Battles, that's what it's called. Cosmo Battles 2. The best way to check is to, like, look at the box and see what the code name is. I wonder, maybe I can do a little bit now that I've settled into what they in the industry sometimes call a bit of a wind down. Let me go onto the Rake. What the hell is that? Oh. Oh, another Dia Battles reissue just came in at on Mandarake for 6,000 yen per part, so that is 18k yen for a new made this year Dia Battles V2. That's at the Umeda store. But where's DA01? Oh, if you're looking on eBay, Diaclone reboot prices are a little bit demented. They're a little bit cuckoo hoo-ha. They're a little bit bonkers wee-woo. Because there are a couple people on there just selling stuff for like triple price and they just shove it on eBay. I don't know how they do that without like dying from fees. Oh, here we go. So currently on Mandarake, DA11, the Alpha Plus versions for 25k yen, DA01X, prototype Moonbase version, going for 18 to 23k yen, DA45 going for 39k yen to 43k yen. Oh, here we go, DA, the very first release. Oh, yeah, it is cheaper. So DA01 is 16k yen, there's one as low as 15k yen, which, yeah, 140 USD. If it's loose, I would say try to get it for, like, if it doesn't have the box, I would say try to get it for 120 at the top. Unless I'm misremembering the exchange rate here. Oh, yeah, the one in box on Mandarake is like 110 before shipping. Granted, if this is stateside, then, you know, work out what the shipping diff would be. What's really dangerous to me is the Cosmo Battles has a different head, right? The white Astro Cosmo Battles Die Battles has a different head sculpt, and they did that head sculpt in Decaliber Blue and Red as like what was it, like a show exclusive? So it's like a single head, and it typically would always go for like 12,000 yen. A couple weeks ago, they suddenly just finally dipped to like 7,000 yen. That is still like a leader class transformer for just a head. So I'm not gonna ever, but maybe someday I might. It used to be like 12,000 yen at the minimum. The fact it's dipped down to 7,500 to 8,000 is bonkers. I don't know what precipitated that either, unless like somebody got inside info. Maybe they're gonna reissue something with that head in red and blue, but I don't know. I don't know what they would, because it's bound to Battle 01, so you can't just do the unless they pack it in with the Cosmo Battles set. I don't know. That's right, GD Salam. Call me the Slippy Liquid Master. No, it's not. It's meant for V2. Because DA06, I'm just looking at it. The space one has the visor head to like set it apart, but they made its battles too, the Cosmo Battles, in red and blue as I think an exclusive, which I got for pretty cheap 8 years ago. I think. It is expensive now, but I always wanted to get the head to go with it. Well, the re-release is out now, and as far as I've seen, it is just because the re-release doesn't have that head. The re-release has the DA45 head, where they changed the antenna to hard plastic and thicker, as opposed to the PVC ones like on my DA11, so they don't bend inwards as much. I've had to say these phrases so much recording the audio from my Die Battles V2 video, so it's all... these are familiar syllables, but the video took so long, I've had to rewrite and re-record parts of the script around the reissue now being out, and now I've been scrounging for imagery to demonstrate that the antenna and the hands are changed from PVC to ABS, and the antenna are thicker in the hands of a hinge now. I am like, maybe this is why there is less English language coverage. If one is as misguided as me and like trying to have like a semblance of 80% comprehensive information. Because there's also going to be the bonkers person who's like, I should just get one of every Die Battle so I can show them all next to each other. Don't worry, I have 2 already. It's 2.3 of them already. Because once upon a time, when the line was young and it was just a bunch of Die Battleses and powered suits, it was not hard to get some of it for kind of cheap off Mandarake. But not anymore. Alright. Don't worry. It's all Wawu cool. Be Wawu happy. Oh no, people love, nowadays people kind of prefer the old OG power suits. There's a couple people who prefer them. Because what they could do... Where'd it go? Here it is. So they did have 4 modes. Because they had, like, you know, this mode. And they had a mode where they were curled up and seated on the floor in a position that would let the pilot step in and out. And then they have the mode to plug into their raid chamber. That's not really a mode, but they had a mode to plug into where a cockpit would go on a Diaclone robot. And then they also have a mech mode, which is why they have a slider back here. Because the mech mode is quite literally make it look more like Mech Warrior. And then, like, the seat inside can actually lift up. So that's the mech mode when it's like in manual mode, when they're not using the powered system to fully integrate their nervous system into the suit. This little thing just marches around, but then when they need to have, like, you know, full control, it goes like zh. They lie backwards. And then, like, I won't show the whole thing, but, like, the way that they connect to... Basically, they can plug into a rail system spot. Because they can, like, fold the arm back like that, and then this lump here could slot in to where, like... You know, I think Battles 1 would plug in. And so you can have this plugged in with just a bunch of Diaclone machinery around it. Actually, I do have a way I could show that briefly. Because this is like the mode. And then here is a part of Battles 02 from X1. And so, as you can see, that slots in there. And now this little guy is using this thing. So and then as you can see here, like, you could plug legs onto this. You could slide arms in there. So this little guy is, like, working like a makeshift robot, using the powered suit as the control core. Woo! But yeah, that's what the OG powered suits did. That was their part of their whole thing. And the powered suits have their whole journey where they became the maneuver suits, and then they became the Versalter, not Versalter, Verse Riser suits, and then those eventually became the Versalters. So there's like a whole DNA chain of that little suit leading up to the Versalters of the Tactical Mover sub-brand that everyone knows of nowadays. Everyone knows of nowadays! And once upon a time, these powered suits, Mech Fans Toys was just making a billion knockoffs of them. Like, they had stolen the CAD or something, and they were able to just, like, run... They were running, like, under Lost Planet, they were running, like, countless copies of these things. I think to this day, even. As Mechanova King knows, and it's... Everyone knows what a tactical mover Diaclone Versalter is. It's practically embarrassing I'm even saying the full name. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Omega Supreme knockoff had one. They made an Omega Supreme that could interact with Diaclone Reboot briefly. There was the knockoff of Springer they did, the like little shrunken like Springer came with a green one. The upscale knockoff of Iron Factory Shockwave they did came with a purple one. The upscale knockoff of Iron Factory 6 Shot they did came with a blue and white one. And a lot of them didn't have pilots, so they were just empty. But this is like, if you want to fill out a diorama or something, then, you know, there you go. Anyway, I went on even longer after saying I haven't eaten dinner yet. So, I'm gonna go start setting up to do that. Where's my moose? Where's my mooses? I also need a sip of... Oh no, all the stuff I moved to get at the stupid thing that fell down. There we go. Who wants to be the one that says, hydration check? Thank you, you did it. Where did it go? Hey, thanks for checking out this internet YouTube live stream. That was a bunch of Waruders. I hope that was fun. Like I said, I did not do that stream with the express intent of like making people go like, time to go buy aftermarket Waruders. But Waruder seems to have like even less coverage in either language not either, in any language, than a lot of the Diaclone Dianaut stuff. So I thought that would be kind of fun and just share what that stuff all does, so that if you do want to decide to devote your life to it, it's right there and you can see how it works. Hey, Chris Vangelus, why don't you have any metal card bought yet? Because I friggin' bought that stuff instead of friggin' those two things. That was my card bot money, but I wanted this instead. So I'm gonna go back to the card bots sometime later on. Yeah, remember to use the code if you're over on that toy hacks gimmick, you want to make sure you use the code DemiVangelus Happy Pride, and that'll give you the 15% off. It's on my Blue Sky. It's on my community posts. It's on Tumblr, actually. It's on my Mastodon. I got one of those. I'm gonna buy primary market Waruders. Damn it. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Stay safe out there. Especially if you're somewhere where you gotta extra stay safe, but also do what you can, where you can. And as always, selfishly, but because it is my way, I demand all of your survival. So I will catch you next time. I'm gonna pester Aaron, see if we can squeeze in, get back to our news dive grind, because we gotta catch up. Because I submitted a panel, so now we have to do it. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later!
Let them come.